Hi everyone and welcome to NameHero.com. Those of you that have completed my Reseller Hosting 101 course, I want to thank you for sticking with me and going through each module one by one. We've put a lot of work into this course here at NameHero, and we're providing it free of charge. You know, there's a lot of other people, especially on Udemy and the other course platforms, that will be charging for this information. We don't want to do that. We want to provide this free of charge because we really feel like by training our resellers and allowing them to become more educated and resourceful, that they'll be able to add to their customer experience. So that's really what we're trying to accomplish here. Now, if you're watching this video on YouTube or one of our partners' sites, maybe even our Facebook page, make sure you go to namehero.com/startup and enroll for free into our Reseller 101 course, because that's where you're going to get all the goods. But in this final video here, I want to go through a couple of things that I call moving forward, and just your next steps to building your profitable reseller hosting business. So let's just jump right on into it. So once you've got your reseller hosting account set up, once you've got your business set up and you've followed all the steps in our Reseller Hosting 101 course, it's then time to start getting your first 100 hosting customers. Now, if you're a WordPress developer, if you're a web developer, then it's likely you already have customers. It's likely that you've got maybe 100 customers already, but you don't have hosting customers. So now it's time to start pitching these customers and getting them to sign up for your hosting. If you follow what I've said in my Reseller 101 course and you sell these features, it's really all about the managed hosting features, because you can sell this to your customers and they'll want to sign up with you. Nowadays, the days of just going to HostGator and Bluehost and stuff like that, I mean, that works for some, but people nowadays, they want a more personable experience. And in my opinion, this is where the reseller industry is really exploding right now. If you can offer not only the web development, the WordPress development, but also offer the hosting. And for those of you that are really into it, if you can offer some social media setup, some social media marketing and consulting, you'll be able to really get a high quality customer that's willing to pay up to a couple $100 a month even. But once your benchmark is your first 100, and that's in the web hosting in general. And if you're not a web developer and you're just getting into the reseller hosting business to become a reseller host, that's the truth for you too. Your first 100 are the hardest to get. When I started NameHero, that was my first goal. Can I get 100 customers? Because I know if I can get 100, I can get 1,000. And I know if I can get 1,000, I can get 10,000. If I can get 10,000, I know I can get 100,000. And if I can get 100,000, I know I can get 1,000,000. But it all comes in these benchmarks. It's just like a human being. When we're born, we don't come out of the womb able to walk. We have to learn how to sit up first. And once we can sit up, then we can crawl. Then once we can crawl, then we can walk. And once we can walk, we can then run. Well, it's the same thing when you're starting a business, when you're birthing a business. It doesn't start off with millions of dollars and lots of revenue. There's a lot of growing pains you have to get into. But your first 100 is where you want to start. So break it down. You don't want to shoot for your first 100 in one day, because that's not going to happen, period. I don't care who you are. I don't care how well your marketing is, unless you're like GoDaddy and you can go spend a couple $100,000 right out of the gate in marketing and advertising and really have your stuff together. You're going to get your first 100 in one day. Shoot for 2 customers a day. You'll reach 100 in no time. Shoot for 5 a week. In a couple of weeks, we'll build you a steady business. Just shoot for obtainable goals, because you don't want to get demotivated. If you're setting your goals too high, then you might have unrealistic expectations. You have to realize that your first 5, 10, 20 customers, they're going to tell you everything you need to know about your business. They're going to tell you if your price is too high, if your price is too low. They're going to tell you if your support is good. They're going to give you your initial reviews. So these are the customers that you really want to cradle, these early on customers. I say do what you have to within reason to get your first 100. When you're getting your first 100, your reputation's everything. And when I built NameHero, me personally, the CEO and owner of the company, I would stay up almost all night making sure that when people were coming in for pre-sales that they had an answer quickly. I made sure that every customer that came in, they got what they wanted. Even though as we grew, we had to change up some of our policies and stuff to continue growing at the same rate. But early on, I really just went above and beyond, because I knew the first 100 customers would do a lot of the marketing to get to the next, to get to the first 1,000 customers. And that's exactly what we saw happen here at NameHero. Once we got to our first 100, the first 1,000 came pretty quickly. Now our goal is right up there with the 10,000. But once you have the first 100, the customers start kind of coming in on their own, because the first 100, if they're having a positive experience, they'll start telling friends, family, colleague, coworkers, and so forth and so on. But you have to really cradle those first 100. Now, being the cheapest is not a good strategy. You can be the most helpful, though. At NameHero, I tried both. I tried to be the cheapest, and I had another hosting company back in the early 2000s. I tried being the cheapest. But what you find with that, you find users that push your limits. They want to use as much gigabytes of disk space you have, and they want to use as much bandwidth as you have, and they're not loyal at all. We especially see this with international customers, and I'm saying international outside of the United States, outside of United Kingdom, outside of Canada, outside of Australia. The customers in those other countries, and this is nothing against them, this is true data, they're not brand loyal. They want the cheapest hosting package they can get. They don't really care about the features. They don't care about SSD drives. They just need hosting, and they want it dirt cheap. And they want to pay monthly, they want to pay yearly, and there's a lot of fraudulent activity. At NameHero, we've almost made a decision to only accept US, UK, Canada, Australia. We've almost decided to eliminate all those other countries. While we have not done that yet, we've thought about it because of they're not loyal. They're the type of customers that will come on and they're just looking for the cheapest thing. So I don't really believe in being the cheapest. At NameHero, we will never have the cheapest prices online, and you won't either. There's always going to be someone cheaper. It's because there's going to be someone that oversells the crap out of their network. There's some kid in their basement that doesn't really know what they're doing. So we're always going to have that, but be the most helpful and shoot for your first 100 quality customers. You can offer hosting for 99 cents and get 100 pretty quickly, but is $100 a month or $100 a year going to do you any good? Probably not. It's probably be more of a pain in the butt than it's worth. So go for your first 100, but remember, you have to have 10 before you can get 100. So right now, after you watch this video, after you complete this course, your goal should be getting your first 10. Because after you get your first 10, you're 1/10 of the way there. You just need 10 more to get 20, and 10 more to get 30. And that's the way you need to look at it. Don't be overwhelmed. Your marketing and advertising, if you're going to go out and buy ads, that's not a bad thing. You can, but if you buy ads in the web hosting industry, it's expensive. So if you're just targeting web hosting, if you go to Web Hosting Talk Forum, if you go on AdWords and buy, if you bid on web hosting keywords, these are the most expensive because this is where the most competition is. The big companies, GoDaddy's, HostGator's, EIG's companies, they all go out there to them and they've got the cash to do it. So they can sit there and pay $30 a click. At NameHero, we've done this and we still do it, but it's not our bread and butter. Some people think that just because you can go buy ads on Web Hosting Talk or go buy ads on AdWords, that's your bread and butter. No, not really. At NameHero, most of our customers come in from our blog, from our content that's produced for free. We pay a lot of money on AdWords. We pay a lot of money on Facebook. We pay a lot of money on Web Hosting Talk, but it really accounts for very little of our business. To the point where we scale back a lot of that stuff. So if you've got the money, you can go do it, but that's not the holy grail. You can bid number one. If people type in web hosting, you can be the number one bidder if you can afford it, but that's not going to just grow you and make you rich. You're going to pay a lot for those customers, and it's going to take you a while to make up your ROI on them. A better route is to think of the niche you're targeting and think of other things they're searching for besides hosting. So what we've seen in the hosting industry over the last 5 years, a lot of the top affiliate marketers for hosting companies, big and small, they're targeting people that are looking to create a blog. So they'll make blog posts, courses, and videos titled How to Make a Blog, and then they mention the hosting on in there. So their target audience is individuals and businesses looking to start a blog. They give them the education on how to do it, but then they say, well, to start, you need a web host, and here's what we recommend. So that's a smarter way. Now, the how to start a blog, that's been kind of saturated as well. I mean, even at NameHero, sometimes we'll bid on the how to start a blog keyword, and it's just as expensive nowadays as web hosting is, pretty much. But think about other things. Think about there's other softwares out there, and even though you might not get a ton of volume per day, look at it on a 3 or 6 month basis. So you might target people that are trying to install vBulletin for them. You might target people trying to install certain applications, depending on what your niche is, and then you'll get those customers. And again, it might not be glamorous and per day, but over a 3 to 6 month period, you'll probably pick up quite a few customers. Think outside the paid ads, though. Again, if you have the budget, go for it, but it's not the holy grail. The holy grail of being successful is not being able to have a big budget, because I've seen companies come out with big budgets and sponsor all this stuff, and then when their business doesn't take off, they get demotivated, and a lot of them end up getting in debt and have to sell off or go bankrupt because they can't afford it. Your marketing and advertising, be smart about it. Don't spend too much of your startup capital in it. It's not the holy grail. Get creative with it and think of other things. I am going to do a marketing and advertising course on namehero.com/startup. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to charge for this course because I'm going to give out some premium information, some stuff that I don't want to give out to everyone. Because of that, I'm going to have to charge so I can be more selective in who gets it. So be on the lookout for that if you're interested in it, and I'm not twisting your arm. You can be successful without that. But if you're looking for to really get into the marketing and advertising of your business, I'm going to dive really into grave detail about how to go about that. But again, I will have to charge for that course. It's not going to be free. Customer service and support. This is a question that a lot of resellers ask, especially new resellers. I'm not, they say, Ryan, I'm not as host savvy as you. How am I going to support my customers? Okay, well, starting out, the easiest is just to provide high quality ticket support to your customers. I see too often that new resellers will come on, they'll try to provide live chat, tickets, and phone. If you have the resources, do that. But you need to provide one of those channels really, really good quality. So, for instance, if you have live chat, but you're not on it 24/7, then you're probably going to detract versus add to your company. If you can't afford to staff it or be on 24/7, then you probably just don't want to offer it, because if someone goes to your website and you're not online in live chat, then it probably doesn't look good on your business. So start off, in my opinion, you should start off just offering high quality ticket support. And the reason being is our support team's always available to assist you. So while customers can submit a ticket to you, you can reply back and say, hey, we're working on this, I'm not sure. And then you can ask our team. So the tickets gives you that time to where you can go back to our team, and then you can kind of facilitate this without having to hire anyone else. Now, of course, once your business grows, there's companies out there that provide outsourced customer service and support. In my experience with them, there's a couple quality ones, but it's kind of far and few between. Outsourcing is an option for resellers, but it's not always the best option because, of course, when you outsource, people don't know your business like you know it. So if you're wanting to expand, it's really best to find you one employee. Start off with one employee once you're to that point, and look for them to cover some hours that you're not available. So maybe if you're available 9 to 5, or you're available, maybe you work another job, maybe you're available from 5 to 8 p.m. Whatever you're available, find someone that can work those hours that you're not available, and start off with that, and then kind of expand from there. If you have to outsource, you have to outsource. But again, just watch out, because there's some outsourcing firms that they don't want to know anything about your business, and they provide a low caliber support. So you don't want to do that. In my opinion, though, the biggest thing for customer service is responsiveness and communication. Customers, they don't want to wait. And so if they submit a ticket, even if it takes you a little bit to figure out what's going on, reply back immediately and let them know you're working on it. Let them know that you've received their ticket, thank them for their business, and let them know that you're going to get to it immediately. In my opinion, that really helps ease their worries, because so many companies out there have just kind of left them hanging, so to speak, making them wait long times for customer service and support. So don't do that. Be very responsive, be very communicative with them, have a clear path of communication with them, and you'll find that customer service and support is really not that big of a deal, but it can be time consuming. So you want to be communicative though with them. You want to let them know that you're working on it, and then diligently reply to them in an amount of time. But focus on one channel. Focus on tickets first. Then after you master that, then you can move on to the live chat and the phone. Forming your own business. If you don't already have your own business legally formed, and I mean have your LLC set up, or S Corp, or incorporation, however you do it, wherever you're from, the United States, we do things differently than other countries, but find someone to do this for you. I do not recommend running your business out of your personal bank account. You want to actually form your own business. That's for liability reasons, and it keeps things separate. You don't want to conduct a business. You don't want to be accepting PayPal payments and merchant account payments in your personal bank account. That's not a good way to do business. I don't recommend it. LegalZoom.com, it's a website and it offers affordable, high quality lawyer referrals. If you're looking for a quick online solution, now that's United States. Now, if you're in another country, then I'm sure there's an equivalent to LegalZoom out there. But you can start searching, just Google and search your local area for attorneys, business attorneys, and a lot of times they'll see you for a free consultation or a very cheap consultation and kind of let you know how you need to set this up. I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an accountant, but I do have a lawyer and accountant that I use. So you need to find your own and make sure you consult with them to make sure you're setting up your business the correct way from the beginning. Especially in the United States, a lot of your startup costs you can actually deduct off your taxes for that calendar year. So again, make sure that you really consult with someone that knows what they're doing to make sure you're taking the proper deductions. When you buy a reseller account at NameHero, that's a business expense. It's a write-off, but you have to have your company set up correctly to be able to really absorb those benefits. A mistake I've seen in the past is people will say, well, once my business is up and going, then I'll form it. That's really not a good way to look at it. You should be doing this from the very get-go. Form your business early on, do it the correct way, have a professional do it. Don't try to just say, well, once I get customers, I'll form my business. It's not really a good way to look at it. And that goes into the number one key to success. With everything I've done, with the hours of course content here on namehero.com/startup, with our Reseller 101 course and all the guides and content I produce, I'm going to give you the magic pill right here. I'm going to give you the secret to success, and I'm going to let everyone know it. The number one key to success is consistency. That's it. There's nothing more to it. It's one word. That is the key to success in business, online or offline, whatever it is. Consistency is the key. Those that fail are the ones that are too quick to give up. Those that do not become successful are ones that throw in the towel early on. I'm going to tell you this because I've had 7 online businesses in the last 20 years. Every one of them has been successful. I've yet to fail. But there has been many days, there has been many months where I've had my head in the sand, I've kicked my feet thinking that it's not going to work. But most of the time, the next month proves it wrong. The next month proves it even more wrong. The next year, I'm looking back saying, wow, if I would have quit, what a fool I would have been. I've been successful because I refuse to give up. I refuse to throw in the towel. Why? I have no other option. I don't have any other, I could go get a job somewhere, but you're not going to get hired somewhere. I'm not going to get hired making as much money as I can do on my own. And I'm going to tell you that because I've looked before. When I graduated college, I was told by multiple people, when you get out, you'll make $35,000 a year. Well, that was preposterous to me because I was already making that online. That's about what, $3,000 a month, $4,000 a month? So I have no other option to me. So either I make the business online work, or I'm kind of left out on the street looking for a job. So I don't have another option. And you might have a different scenario than me, but the other fellow entrepreneurs that I've coached, trained, and known over the years, they're the ones that just never give up. It's not going to be all roses and bawling. I mean, it doesn't just come that easy. Now, there might be a case, one or two, but most people, they have to work their butts off for it. And it's how bad do you want it? If you want it bad and you're willing to go to any length to get it, you will find it. Now, let me talk about the web hosting industry. The web hosting industry still is and has been an exploding industry since the early 2000s, and for a long time, since the late 90s. But the only way that your business can join in on this is if you actively get in it and promote it every day. There's tons of competitors out there that are going to be consistent every day. So if you're not, then you're a step behind. Here at NameHero, we're going to be consistent every day, so we're going to keep going. But those that fail are the ones that aren't actively promoting. They're not actively working it. They're the ones that just say, well, they start having excuses. Well, I've got this to do today. I don't have this much time. Well, so-and-so has this much. Don't make excuses. Just get up and do it. I was never the top of my class. I never had the best grades. My test scores were far from the best. I didn't go to the best schools. I didn't come from a rich family. I just didn't give up, and I still don't to this day. Nearly 20 years later of working online, I get up every morning and I go, 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 go. I know no other way. You can replicate the same success, but you just don't give up. Have a plan each day. Get in, get it done. Just like going to the gym, losing weight, gaining muscle, whatever your goal is. You know that it won't happen. You're not going to lose a bunch of weight. You're not going to gain a bunch of muscle if you don't give it all that you have and do it day in and day out. So that's the key to success. It's that simple, but too many people, they overcomplicate it. Once again, I thank you for taking my Reseller Hosting 101 course. I welcome your business here at NameHero. If there's anything that I can personally do, call me out in the ticket center, say I need to speak to Ryan. I'll do my best to get back with you as quickly as possible. I can't promise you time on the phone, unfortunately. Too many people have done that. I'm working on a consulting forum where I can offer consulting, but unfortunately I'll have to charge for that just because the number of people that are coming in are quite large, and I can't spend my whole day consulting. But I do have a great team built around me, and they're more than willing to help you set up your business, your reseller business, to your satisfaction. So again, if you have any questions, let us know. But thank you for choosing NameHero.com. It's an absolute pleasure serving you all and leading your business into the future. Thanks, everyone.